All right, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome everybody to the Drug Treatment Court graduation, and I'm proud to be up here again with this great group of people and what they've accomplished. It's just a great day all in all for Pulaski County and the two graduates we're going to have today. Before we get started, I'd like to introduce some of our dignitaries that are here today. Kelly Johnson with Mark Warner's office, Senator Mark Warner, okay, and then Laura Blevins, she's not quite here yet, we expect her to come, and then Jennifer Fedison, she's not quite, she's with Morgan Griffith's office, and she's not quite here yet either. Andy McGrady, I understand, is on his way. He's chair of the Pulaski County Board of Supervisors, as most of you know. Jonathan Sweet, the county administrator for Pulaski County. Gary Roach, chief of police for town of Pulaski. Doug Urban, who's the chief of District 28 Probation and Parole. He's here. And Randy Matney, who's a retired chief. We got retired one working here, I don't know. And he's with us, thankfully, and it's always good to see him. Mike Fleener, who's the Commonwealth's attorney for Pulaski County, and then Judge Brad Finch, who's the judge here, circuit judge here in Pulaski County. This is our second graduation of the Drug Treatment Court here, and Eric Cizl and Dustin Assad are our two graduates. It's pretty unbelievable to see them today, over the last couple of years, and when I saw them the first day they came here. And they're the same people, but they're a lot different inside, and actually they look a lot different outside. And we're very, very proud of them and what they've accomplished to get through the drug court. It's a tough regimen. It's not easy at all. It's a disease, maybe the worst of diseases. We think cancer's terrible, but addiction is a disease that's very terrible too. And I'm so glad that they've gotten through this. You know, there've been some bumps in the road, and some roller coaster rides, but at the end of the day, they've come out great. Just come out. This is a collaborative effort between different organizations or agencies here in the New River Valley. And this shows you what a community can do when these agencies collaborate. Everybody works together to do what the drug court has done. And we've got just wonderful people, and I'm going to go down our drug court team and where they work. First of all, it's kind of the engine that runs this train is New River Valley Community Services. I know that Laurie Trail is here with us. Lynn Matthews is sitting out there. They do such a great job. Laurie is kind of, I don't know what she does. She does everything. I guess I should say it backwards. I don't know what she doesn't do. Glenn does a great job with the treatment of people. With New Life and other parts of their treatment, he's expanded. They've done some great jobs over when I first began practicing law. When I first became a judge, and even up to today. So it's a lot of good things going on in community services. And James Pritchard is now the executive director, which is a good thing. Rosemary Sullivan is great too. Our case manager for our Pulaski Drug Court, Heather Gilmore, is back here. She's a very integral part of our drug treatment team. She keeps tabs on everyone. Dana Dow, who is not here today, but she's the probation and parole of the District 28. She's the member of the drug court team. Pulaski County, we have Anthony Akers, who's seated right behind me. I'm in good way. I always try to do that to my dog. But anyway, he's Assistant County Administrator, and he has been such a blessing to our drug court team. He finds things that I didn't realize could be found. He adds his wisdom onto things. He's just wonderful. John Croto with the Pulaski Sheriff's Department, who adds his wisdom and keeps us kind of straight there. He hadn't pulled the taser with the gun yet. But he gives us a lot of good insight. And is Mark Serber? Is Mark here? No. Mark helps us from the Pulaski Sheriff's Department kind of keep tabs on everything, right? All right. Commonwealth's Attorney Skip Swab. Skip does a great job adding his wisdom and insight to the decisions that we make. In the Commonwealth's Attorney's Office, and Skip in particular is kind of the gatekeeper of the drug court. And Cynthia Dodge helps him. I'll get to you, Cynthia, don't worry. But they suggest people that would be good for the drug court, good participants in the drug court, and he really has a very, very important part of the job in letting people in. Not only that, he has a lot of wisdom in his suggestions. Defense attorneys, Cynthia Dodge with the Public Defender's Office has been a member since the start. She's done a great job. And then Katie Piles here with Katie's not here, okay? Katie, is she still with y'all?
Katie Taylor is not.
Katie Taylor, okay, I'm sorry, I got mixed up here. Hold on. Deborah Piles here, okay. I got two names in one. Sorry, okay. All right, Deborah, Katie's not here, Deborah's here. They all three help give us a lot of insight into the participants. And then Megan Jennings with the Town of Pulaski Police. Megan does a great job. We really like her. She gives us insight too. Doesn't say a lot, but when she does, you better listen, because she does. And again, this is how a community works together to get things done. With all these people, and I don't think there's one other entity around here that has all these people involved in one thing, and that's the drug court, which is very important. And just an aside, is that, you know, I sat in Pulaski when I first became circuit judge. I love the people, and you know, but they have a terrible drug problem. And when I sat in Montgomery, Floyd, love the people there too, I think. Anyway, no, I do. But one day I ran into James Pritchard at Wendy's. He's now the executive director. And we kind of had a family drug court, juvenile court down in Montgomery. And it kind of fizzled there after a while, but did wonders for children in foster care, families with children in foster care. And I know Laurie knows about that too, because she was very important with that. But you know, I said, James, how about an adult drug treatment court? And the next thing I knew was there. You know, James and Laurie had it done. And Pulaski, the people are good. We've got a great team. We all work together well. And so I'm so glad that we started this drug treatment court. Our circuit, the 27th Judicial Circuit, we were the only circuit between Bristol and Roanoke that didn't have a drug court. So Pulaski, we were the first ones in the circuit. And by the end of the year, we'll have 5 in our circuit. So that's more than in the circuit, which is great. Illegal drugs are a scourge on our community. You know that. I don't need to tell y'all that. It's awful. These drugs. It's rarely a day goes by for me that I have a case that's not a drug case. I think I had one case in Montgomery County this morning that wasn't a drug case. Floyd, all drug cases. Montgomery yesterday, all drug cases. And that's every case is a drug case. And I know I'm preaching to the choir with a lot of y'all, but we need to do more to solve this problem. And drug courts are a great alternative. There's no perfect alternative. Drug courts are a very good one. They're proven. The recidivism rate is roughly 13%. It saves money, jail cost, and just for instance, some figures that Laurie has given me. But our drug court participants, the 4 graduates that we will have, has saved the Pulaski County over $125,000 since they've been in the drug court. And that's a lot. That's a lot to any county. And since the end of our participants all graduate, it'll be upwards of $350,000. So it's a lot of money. And those of you who participate in county government or work for county government, the jail costs are astronomical for our counties and our circuit. So drug courts help that. But the most important thing is that we save people. We save people. And I can tell you, everybody, each and every one of us, when we see Dustin, Eric, Leroy, it just warms, at least the cockles of my heart. That's a good word. But it's just so great to see what's happened and the success they've had, and I always tell them the best is yet to come. But drug addiction, again, is a disease, and we've got to do everything we can to get rid of it. Our country is in bad shape because of drugs. You know, most of us don't see that. A lot of them see that, but we don't. Or I guess I do in my job, but anyway, it's, we need to do more. But getting these drug courts going, the state's giving us some funding coming up. We've got a federal grant here. Pulaski County is giving us money. And so we're off and running. We're going to be in probably probably 20 by the end of the year, and hopefully up 20, 25 next year. Doesn't sound like a lot, but it is. It is. If you can help that many people, get that many people through. And drug treatment court is not a walk in the park, I can tell you. And, some of the people do make it look that way, but it's not. Some of them I will tell you it's not. I promise you. But it's approximately 2 years long. It involves treatment, counseling, community service, self-help groups, curfew, and drug testing. And it's hard. And the alternative is, if they fail out, they'll likely end up getting convicted of felonies and possibly going to prison or jail. So the consequences are pretty tough as well. But I think I know everybody here can make it through the drug court if they want to. But it takes a lot of mental toughness to do that. I'm proud of everybody. In the drug treatment court, two big things. Provide structure and support. And then you just expand those two things. The structure with the treatment, community service, hopefully jobs, and then the support. We're all here to support them if they fall. And everybody, or not everybody, but most people, we expect them to trip and stump their toe during the course of this. But we are there to support them if they want the support. And if they don't want to do what the requirements are, then they go back to normal court for the consequences. And sobriety is a constant battle, continuing battle. Every day they wake up, they've got to face the possibility of going backwards into drug addiction. As I tell them all the time, at the end of things, the best is yet to come. Speaking of the best is yet to come, our next speaker is Anthony Agers with the County of Pulaski. Thank you for being here today.
Thank you, Honorable Judge Marcus H. Long. It's an honor to be here. I want to speak briefly, and again, thank you for asking me to speak. Out of all the folks that put in their time, energy, and talents into the drug court, you know, I have a small part of that, and my position with the County of Pulaski affords me that opportunity, and I'm greatly appreciative for that. The County of Pulaski is very excited over the success of the drug court. Not only does it save money for the county taxpayers, but the major benefits is that it's saving lives. And we see that for many you'll hear from today, or you see today, that drug courts is full of people who care about you. And what I found very moving as I attend drug court ceremonies is when the participants stand up and they say, I've never really had that many people care about me so much in life. Or I've had people care about me before, but I've really never heeded their advice. They don't really care about me. Now granted, some folks have not been successful in making it through drug court and had to be dismissed. But the folks here today are trying very hard, and the County of Pulaski is very proud of them. Our elected officials and our county administrator, Mr. Jonathan Sweet, are very supportive of the program. The county set aside some money for housing, but recently we received a grant for the Virginia Supreme Court, $36,000, to go towards that. So the drug court program is proven to be very, very extremely beneficial to the citizens of Pulaski County and Pulaski County in general. We've had multiple participants work community service with the County of Pulaski. We have some still working community service. We have one who has gained employment with the county. The county seal states pride, vision, and excellence. Our drug court program exemplifies this by taking pride in caring for our citizens of our county despite their difficult issues. Helping those in need have a better vision and hope for the future, because where there is no vision, one perishes. And excellence by offering a program of high accountability where individuals can feel good about what he or she has accomplished. So the County of Pulaski is very appreciative for all the hard work and dedication that everyone's put towards drug court. And a few things I've learned from drug court, especially from someone like Leroy, whom I'll introduce in just a minute, that a lot of people that are in an addictive state desire to be helped, contrary to what a lot of folks say, but sometimes contrary to what I tended to believe. A lot of folks just really desire to be helped and loved and cared for. And I've learned that through the drug court process. While, again, some had to be released, some stayed, despite the difficult circumstances they may be under, because it is a program of high accountability. Judge Long would tell participants, many times we meet in here, if they got into a little trouble or wasn't doing what they were supposed to do, he'd say, I want you to turn around and look at everyone here. These folks care for you. They're dedicating their time, energy, and talents to help you. and you see a participant turn around, they'd be very grateful for what they saw. I can't say enough good things about the staff at New River Valley Community Services for what they do for the entire New River Valley. I'm not going to point them out. There's many in this room. But it's remarkable about the things that they do in our schools and our court system with everybody. It's just phenomenal. And they've taken the lead on the drug court program. And for that, we thank them for what they do. It's just phenomenal. James Pritchett and I, who's the director of New River Community Services, we caught ourselves crying at the drug court picnic at Randolph Park when they took the picture. We both were over there and we're both crying. And real men cry, by the way. And we looked at each other. He said, there's just something special about seeing that, isn't it? And I said, yes, it is. To go to a picnic and see folks smiling and happy when they could be elsewhere living a different type of life. And lastly, my challenge and advice to participants, when one drug court participant is successful, there are numerous residual value things that occur because of that. Families are restored, fathers are with their children, husbands are with their wives, wives are with their husbands, or a son has come home, a daughter. There's numerous residual effects that can't be counted. Had one participant ask me my advice. They got in a little trouble before and had to go to Judge Long, and this person said, what do I do? I said, you tell the truth. I said, I have 4 children, and I tell them whenever you get in trouble or something, you stand before him and you be woman enough to tell him the truth, what happened. I said, because I've always been told in life the difference between justice and mercy is justice is what you deserve. Mercy is what you don't deserve. So I said, throw yourself at the mercy of the court, tell the truth, and perhaps Judge Long will grant you mercy. And of course, he did that day. I said, but don't hang your hat on that all the time. You need to be truthful and abide by the things you're supposed to do each time. Lastly, we attended a drug court conference this August, the drug court team in Roanoke, Virginia Supreme Court. We each got one of these medallions. And on it, it says, Virginia Drug Treatment Courts Transforming Lives. I keep this by my desk as a reminder. And talk about the Supreme Court Best Practices Solution. If you turn the medallion over, it says, saving $19,234 per person compared to regular court process. But it says, saving a life is priceless. So we all know, we work in drug court, that saving a life is priceless, as you'll see from these 2 graduates today. With that said, I've asked our county administrator, Mr. Jonathan Sweet, quickly to give a quick presentation to our 2 graduates on behalf of Pulaski County to show our appreciation.
I told Anthony I didn't want to speak after Judge Long or speak after him, and he said, well, you surely don't want to speak after legal ones, so you better shoehorn you in somewhere. I've been here 9 months with the county, and I'm running out of firsts. There's only so many firsts that you get the opportunity to enjoy, particularly over 15 years of local government service. But I am so delighted to be here today. I've heard so many amazing things about drug court. This is my first drug court graduation, and some of the things that Judge Long said and Anthony said, I got chill bumps. I don't know if everyone, and some of you may be immune to that or numb to that, but I got chills, and I've got them right now about what this means. And so I just wanted to be a small part of this and make sure that our 2 graduates know that Pulaski County is so very proud of them. You know, the money it's going to save us, the heartache it's going to save us, the legacy it's going to change. So we look at what can we possibly give you as a very small token of appreciation, gratitude, and honor. And we have limited edition, you guys will come up, limited edition journals. Because what graduation is saying goodbye to the old and saying hello to the new. And what we want you to do is journal your new journey in life, your new journey in Pulaski County. And I don't know how everyone else feels right now, but I just am overwhelmed with pride for what you guys have been able to accomplish. Here is a very small token. Congratulations.
pride in Pulaski County. We have these tokens of appreciation for both of you for the pride you exhibit and show for Pulaski County, because we are indeed proud of you for what you have done. Thank you. Without further ado, one of the major benefits of drug court has been establishing one of my best friends in life. We traveled together, we went to speaking engagements together, and we formed a bond. I didn't know this man prior to drug court, but we formed a bond of brotherhood. And he's the only man that I know prior to drug court that I heard when he was before Judge Long, told Judge Long he was crazy in the courtroom. And I was told that Judge Long said, "I know, but don't tell anybody else that." But Leroy Robinson is one of the first 2 graduates of the program last year. We have a close relationship. He worked at Community Action as a housing counselor. He is currently employed by New River Valley Community Services as a peer support specialist. Without further ado, Mr. Leroy Robinson.
Great words of Don King, the fight promoter. He said, what a splendiferous event this is, if that's even a word. I heard Lori Trail not some time ago on a video they did. She said, you know, it's one thing to talk about it and write about it in theory, but it's another thing to kind of watch. And at the time I was going through, but to be able to be honored and graced with the presence of these 2 gentlemen is something that's phenomenal. I think to be able to watch it, it's just added another piece to my recovery walk. And I'm just here to offer just some words of encouragement, because these 2 dudes have done a lot for me in my walk. Eric Cizl, he's just shown me such a courage about him, and his pride did not let him falter. And I learned how to utilize that same courage and pride in myself. And then Dustin gave me this fearless transparency. He didn't care what anyone thought about him, because he knew that what was important was the overcoming and eradicating what was holding him bound for so many years, and that's that disease of addiction. And I learned this thing from these 2 individuals. So to be able to be in their presence, you know, has done so much for me. And they asked me to speak, not on their behalf, but just on to encourage them on their journey, because they are fathers, sons, and Pulaski County drug court alumni in the future. And I think that is a phenomenal deal. I'm not going to take any of the light or any shine away from them. I just want everyone here to recognize that journey is it's an amazing one. And they did not eliminate our ability to grow these wings and sprout. They did not. They allowed us to go through that journey head on with their support, but also letting us do it and feeling it ourselves. So then on the other side, we can say that we did assist in establishing a program that's worth going through. So I just want to thank you 2 gentlemen, and just say that it's been an honor to know you all, and just keep up the good work. The judge said that the road to recovery is under construction, and I agree with that, because as long as we get to this point, we know there's somebody else that's coming behind us. So that's the precedent that we set, to let others know that there is hope. We'll be fine. That's all. Well, this afternoon it is my honor and my privilege to introduce our keynote speaker. He began his career in criminal justice as a police officer in the city of Roanoke. After years as a police officer, he moved to the Department of Corrections as a probation officer, also in Roanoke. As he moved up through the ranks, he became a senior officer and a chief probation and parole officer in Rocky Mount, Virginia. In 2009, we were lucky enough that he came to Radford, to this district of probation and parole. And since then, I've been blessed enough to work with him for these years, and I can tell you that I have learned that he is truly a caring person. And I think that's evidenced by the fact that he retired in May, and he's here today as our keynote speaker. So without any further ado, Randy K. Matney, retired probation and parole chief of District 28.
Wow, thank you. It's good to be back. Lori, I ask one thing. Don't make me go behind him. Really? I want to say good afternoon. I want to welcome people in the room, the Honorable Marcus H. Long, who is the initiator of drug court, the Honorable Bradley W. Finch, who serves here in Pulaski County, members of the Pulaski County Circuit Court drug court team. You've all been announced. The drug court participants of all. The two graduates we have here today, Cizl and Dustin Assad. I'm proud of you. And the family members and friends of these two people. I feel like it's only befitting because we start with observing a moment of silence. We've had two major tragedies that have occurred here in the United States in the last 2 weeks. Hurricane Maria in Puerto Rico took several lives and devastated that area. That's a U.S. territory for us. The second incident happened just this week. 59 people were killed in Las Vegas due to a shooter. Over 500 others were injured. So please, with me, observe a moment of silence for those people. Thank you. On December 4th, 2014, the first drug court hearing was held here in Pulaski County. At the initiation of the judicial drug court in this district was the vision and dream of 4 people. The first person being the Honorable Marcus H. Long, Jr. When Judge Long became a judge in the judicial circuit, he came from the juvenile bench. He was noted as being a very straightforward person, one handed down harsh sentences. Probation officers loved him, defendants hated him. I've seen people cry when they got ready to go in front of Judge Long. Some even broke down in tears. Have you ever seen him peer down above his glasses at you? I'm sure you probably have. I probably have too. That's a bad thing. You know, but I found that people really don't know Judge Long. I saw him as a true visionary, as someone that had a huge heart for people. He loves to joke, he loves to laugh, and when it comes to court, he wants to explore other options. He's all about helping people. He challenged traditional ways of doing things. He believed in truly thinking outside the box. By the end of the year, Judge Long will be instrumental in opening 4 drug courts in this judicial circuit, and I think that deserves a round of applause. When completing any big project, there's always a Girl Friday behind it. That Girl Friday is Lori Trail. She's my secretary, even though I'm retired. Lori was noted as being a hard worker. She's very devoted, even to a fault. She'll call me in the middle of the night, or she'll text me and she'll say, "Randy, I need one more thing," and I'm like, "God, what now?" She's the Mikey of the drug court, because when you ask her to do something, it doesn't matter how long it takes or what she's doing, she'll drop it and she'll do it. She's been instrumental in this. She's written all the applications for those 4 drug courts. She's written the grants for the drug court. And I'm sure you probably didn't know it, but she is the star of the Lori Trail show, a video about the drug court. Here's her co-star, Marcus Long, here. Along with these two individuals, one was Rosemary Sullivan. Rosemary was the director of New River Valley Community Services. She was instrumental in this as well. She has since retired, preceding me. The fourth individual was James Pritchard. James is the current director of New River Valley Community Services. These three people, without them, you wouldn't be sitting here today. These four individuals recognize the need to try to deal with substance abuse in ways other than traditional. We're all aware that substance abuse is not localized in the poor neighborhoods. It's used among the rich, it's used among the poor. Drugs are found in every segment of society, no matter what your zip code is. Drugs tear and eventually destroy the moral fabric of our society. I'd like to say to the four of you, two of you that are here now, you have my utmost respect and admiration for everything you've done for this county and for society overall. Please stand and give them the thanks that they deserve. Drug court started with a trip to the state of Missouri, where Judge Long, Lori Trail, and I, we attended court in Galena, Missouri. Anybody ever heard of Branson, Missouri? Branson, Missouri is like the entertainment mecca in the Ozarks. It's probably about 40 minutes from there. When we drove up to Galena, Galena looked like a ghost town. The center of the town had empty storefronts and everything. Probably the nicest building in that area was the courthouse. So needless to say, I was waiting for Andy Griffith and Barney Fife to come and greet me. And I wasn't impressed. But when we sat down and we attended the treatment meeting. The judge was there, treatment people were there, probation officers were there, and other community partners. The communication between these people and the dialogue about the participants in the drug court that day was astounding. I got stoked. I thought, wow, this is really something. You know, they even talked about Vivitrol. Vivitrol is a drug that helps people with opiate addiction get over it. They were using that in their program. So I knew this was a cutting edge program. This was nestled down in the Ozarks in the middle of the mountains. But this was one of the best drug courts in the country. And I have a vision that probably people from all over the U.S. are going to be coming here to Pulaski County Circuit Court, Drug Court to look at their program because it's that good. We got to attend court that day, and there was about 60 participants out there. It was full. Treatment reported, probation and parole reported about the people. Some people had good reports. Some people not so good reports. Some people even went to jail. But you know what was astounding that day? The judge got off the bench. I know you remember this. And he shook the hand of every drug court participant in there. I looked over at Judge Long. Boy, you could tell he was uncomfortable and this was out of his comfort zone. He had a bead of sweat coming from his forehead, and I just sort of laughed and shook my head. That'll come into play later. We returned home and we formulated the drug court team. It's comprised of many community partners who you've already talked about. The judge, the Commonwealth, defense bar, police, probation, local government, and treatment personnel. Those people in that room built the drug court upon the values of accountability, communication, and innovation. These were people that were charged with challenging traditional ways and by thinking outside the box. The first drug court was held December 4th, 2014. 2 participants, one of which we're lucky to have here today, Leroy Robinson. You know, as you can tell, Leroy's a man of few words. You know, when Lori said Leroy's going to talk, I said, oh my God, we'll be here all day. You know, but one thing that astounded me with Leroy during his intake, when he was first accepted in the drug court, he came in the probation office. At the first meeting here in Pulaski County Circuit Court, Judge Long came up to the bench. He shook Leroy's hand. Leroy could not stop talking about that because that made such an impression on him. That was a life-changing event for him because he had never experienced that before. Another drug court participant had had a failure early on. He was assigned an essay, and I thought, an essay, what's that? Come on. You know, when that person read that essay, that was so heartfelt, I thought a literary poet had written it. I was like, whoa. I mean, it was moving. And at that point, I said, you know what? There's a lot more to this than I see. The two participants here, Eric Cizl. You know, when I looked at you at first, man, I didn't think you were going to make it. I doubted your sincerity. I doubted your commitment to the program. But you know what? I'm glad to say I'm wrong. Don't you ever tell my wife I said that. But some of the achievements that Eric's had while he's been in the drug court, he got a job early on with CVG trimming systems. He's been recently promoted. He's now a supervisor there. That's something to be proud of. He's established his own housing. He had his driver's license restored. He even bought his own car. So Eric, that's a lot to be proud of. The next one is Dustin Assad. You know, Dustin, you always struck me as being a very humble person and a person that was always glad they were able to participate in the drug court. I was always very impressed by you. You know, I have to talk about some of your accomplishments as well. You're currently employed at Designer Consignment. While employed at AmeriCorp, which he held for a long time, he taught budgeting classes. He even prepared taxes for low-income individuals. He also assisted his sponsor in a fish study through Virginia Tech, and as an assistant with this study, his name was cited in a journal citing the rare fish they found in the River Valley. That's pretty awesome. Senator Chafin felt that it befitting that he wanted to give you these two things. Here's a flag, state of Virginia, Eric. And I got the opportunity to present these to you. Congratulations. You know, today is your day, and I wish to thank you for allowing me to be part of it. You know, I spent 37 years in law enforcement and recently retired in May, and I'm so glad to be back. I'm so glad to be here with you to celebrate this. You don't know what this means to me. But part of the question is, where do you go from here? You show you have a strong support system. You've reestablished familial relationships, and you've been given a new direction in life. What I challenge you to do today is don't stop here, take it forward, because as Judge Long always said, the best is yet to come. I'd like to close with a quote from former President Barack Obama. He said, "Hope is the thing inside us that insists, despite an evidence to the contrary, that something better awaits us if we have the courage to reach for it and to work for it and to fight for it." Congratulations, heartfelt from me and from all the team, and Godspeed.
We're going to start the recognition of the graduates, so if Mr. Cizl, actually if you could both come up just a second. We have Kelly Johnson, who works in Senator Mark Warner's office, and she has something that she would like to present to you. start with Eric. So we're going to give Eric an opportunity to speak. I think it's easy to say they successfully completed this program, but I'd like to just give an overview of what they had to do in order to successfully complete this program. Eric has faced many challenges throughout his life and reported beginning using drugs at the age of 8. He has worked hard in his recovery and has been successful in overcoming significant obstacles to be where he is today. On July the 2nd of 2015, Eric entered the Pulaski County Drug Court Program and successfully progressed through all 5 phases of drug court. He participated in the New River Valley Community Services Outpatient Substance Abuse Treatment Program Stepping Stones. At one point was required to attend at least 9 hours of treatment a week and successfully graduated from this program. He also received individual counseling with our agency. Eric has demonstrated abstinence from substances through frequent and random drug screens while in drug court. He also attended a minimum of 3 self-help groups per week, and he does have a sponsor currently. He also attended a monthly drug court support group that is currently being facilitated by alumni of our program. He has successfully paid all of his treatment fees and his drug court fees, and has complied with curfew requirements as well as the rules of probation while in the program. Eric also performed community service work with Pulaski County, New River Community Action, the local soup kitchen, Pulaski County Animal Shelter, Randolph Park, and did some trash pickup locally. He completed a total of 100 hours of community service while in drug court. He also planned and participated in a required drug court giving back project. He held a food drive to benefit the Pulaski County New River Community Action's food pantry and collected 4 grocery carts full of food and toiletries, and also received $289 in monetary donations to benefit this organization. He also obtained and maintained employment with CVG Trimming Systems, has also established, again, as Randy mentioned, his own housing, got his driver's license reinstated, and got his own car. While in drug court, Eric has demonstrated strength, courage, and commitment to his recovery, and has provided support to his peers who are struggling to maintain their sobriety. He is now a contributing member of society, maintaining steady employment and routinely giving his time to volunteer when needed. More importantly, he is now reconnected with his 3 children, has meaningful relationships with his family, and the drug court team is very proud of all his hard work and dedication, and congratulates you.
Bear with me because I'm a little nervous. First and foremost, I would like to thank the Honorable Judge Long and all those dedicated to the drug court program that have provided this life-changing opportunity for me. When I first came into this program, I felt hopeless about my addiction. But at the same time, I felt hopeless that there was real help out there for me. I cannot deny that it wasn't a struggle, but worth every step of the way. My life has changed in such a positive way. There are times I still can't believe where I was and where I am today. I have a wonderful job, wonderful relationship with my children and my family, and I love myself. I know that there will be challenges in my life, but I feel I can meet them with persistence and strength from my higher power. This program truly saved my life, and I cannot tell you enough how sincerely grateful I am to those who believed in me. Thank you very much.
These are just some gifts from the drug court team, so thank you for all the work. Thank you. So Dustin, again, also faced many challenges throughout his life and reported beginning using drugs at the age of 13. He's also worked hard in his recovery and has been successful in overcoming significant obstacles to be where he is today. On February the 18th of 2016, Dustin entered the drug court program and successfully progressed through all 5 phases of the program. He also participated in the intensive outpatient program Stepping Stones and successfully graduated from this program. He also received individual counseling through our agency. Dustin has also demonstrated abstinence from substances through frequent and random drug screens while in drug court, and he also attended a minimum of 3 self-help groups per week. He does have a sponsor and has been chairing self-help groups for the last couple of months. He also attended a monthly drug court support group that's currently being facilitated by alumni of our program. Dustin has also paid all of his treatment fees and his drug court fees. He has complied with his curfew requirements and the rules of probation while in the program. He's performed community service with Heritage Church, Randolph Park, New River Community Action, and AmeriCorps. Through AmeriCorps, he got quite a bit of community service. He completed a total of 1,892 hours of community service while in drug court. He also planned and participated in the Giving Back project for the New River Community Action's food pantry here locally, where they collected 4 grocery carts full of food and toiletries and received $289 in monetary donations. He also obtained and maintained employment with the AmeriCorps and also is now currently employed with the Designer Consigner after coming into drug court. And again, Dustin has demonstrated strength, courage, and commitment in his recovery and has provided support to peers when they're struggling in their sobriety. He is now a contributing member of society, maintaining steady employment and routinely giving back to his community. More importantly, he also has reconnected with his child and has meaningful relationships with his family. And again, the drug court team is very proud of all your hard work and dedication. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
I didn't write anything. I'm just going to wing it. I want to thank, Judge Long, Lori, Heather, from the bottom of my heart. Like I was telling the news outside, what brought me here was I was coming up here for a bond hearing, and Mr. Proto was taking me downstairs, and he said, if you really want to change, if you really want to help, drug court's the way to go. And then I talked with my lawyer, and he fought for me to get in here, and I'm so grateful. Because, a little over 3 years ago, I guess, I was homeless, living on the side of the river, drunk and high, didn't care if I died tomorrow. It didn't matter. My family was done with me. I just stole everything from them. And today I can say that, I have a great relationship with my family, my daughter. My life is totally changed, and it's a true miracle that I'm here today, and I'm so thankful.
I wish to thank everybody for your kind words and heartfelt words. It's very inspirational to all of us. And finishing up here, Laurie told me it only take about 15 or 20 minutes, so I hope you can bear with me. Deborah, I'm sorry I got the names put together. I get kind of nervous when I speak to groups like this, believe it or not. It's hard, but in any event, I do. But, if you want to be truly happy, help others. And that's what I think that Dustin and Eric have learned, Leroy has learned. And it is amazing to see them today and when they first came to the drug court. It's just, can't even think back that far on this. It's because I'm old, partly. But it's just incredible how far they've come and how far they're going to go. And they have learned a lesson of helping others. And they are indeed very special men, and very strong men to beat the addiction that they have. That takes a tremendous amount of inner strength. In any event, one last thing, and this is maybe the most important thing, and Eric and Dustin don't come up here. These are the orders that dismiss the charges against you. So these are gone. Mr. Good. The best thing of all is what they've accomplished and where they are now. And finally, I know I have 15 more minutes. But finally, you know, it takes a community to do what we've done here. All of us. When I say we, I mean all of us. I appreciate your coming. I appreciate the good work of everybody here. And it is a collaboration. So I don't think you can say, I don't think this would work the way it does if it were just for one group or one person. And one last thing, Randy, what he didn't tell you was he got the taser from Captain Croto and said if I didn't go down and shake their hand, then I was in trouble. And no. I said, I'm not sure I want to do that. He says, you have to do that. So I did, and I'm glad I did, and I do it every time. So, but it's always good. But thank you for coming, and this is a very, very happy, great